As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. As an American, I've been to the peaks of majestic mountains where the air is sweet. I've watched the eagle as it soars in beautiful skies that just can't be ignored. And by this country I'll always stand, for freedom and liberty for every man. When times are hard and things get rough, America always stands ready and rough. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. Forever American is what I am.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you guys all doing tonight? Thank you, Linda Taylor, for that $5 donation. That gives you another entry for another hat, signed hat. But of course, those hats will be going out later this next month because I had to order new ones. Couldn't find the other ones. But I have new ones on the way right now. I will be signing them and getting them out to the winners, as of course we have more winners. So every $5 donation gets you an entry. Every $200, we give away another hat signed. So make sure you guys get in that, and the money goes directly towards people in need. Of course, that's what we're here for, is charity. God bless you all for being here tonight. Please hit that share button. Facebook is shadow banning us yet again. Of course, supposedly copyright claims on my voice. Now somebody else owns me, supposedly. I don't know who, but we'll find out as we fight with that later today. But hello, Richard. Hello, Brian, Paulette, Linda, Debbie Rogers, Nana, Richard, Karen, Jeff, other Karen, Pam. How you guys all doing tonight? Wanda, Matt, Debbie Martin. How you doing? Make sure you hit the share button as much as you can. And if you want notifications and you aren't getting them, You can message me directly. I'm going to start a message group that I will send a message every time I go live in case we can't get somebody else getting the messages out or something happens. So feel free to message my personal page, which is, of course, I'm on here all the time talking on it, so that shouldn't be a problem to find me. Of course, I'll put hello right now in there so you guys can see who I am. You can always message my personal page. I just put hello down there, Christopher Hudson, see? But yeah, hi, Jeff. A lot going on in the world, of course. Not surprised. Hi, Tia. How you doing tonight? Everything, though, of course, happening so fast. Most shocking thing, these school shootings, they've been happening back and forth. The media, of course, is portraying people, though, as it all being these conservatives causing all this damage. These weapons supposedly bought legally. Let's look at this Nashville Christian school shooting that just happened Monday. It's a tragedy that has happened, leaving 3 students dead, 3 staff dead as well, killing 6 people, including 3 9-year-olds, and a 14-minute rampage that ended with officers shooting the suspect in the common area. But this at Aubrey Hale, a 28-year-old transgender artist, burst into a Christian school in Nashville Monday, killing these people. The killer attended the Covenant School, a church-linked elementary school, years ago. Authorities said that she was seeing a doctor due to emotional disorders, and police say the church and the ministry may have been targeted. So we're seeing targeted school shootings here. This is a mental health issue. This gun was not bought legally by her. We know this, as we're going to go further into that. But Metro Nashville police, said the investigators did not believe the killer chose any individual victim specifically, but the school. The surveillance footage that came out of there is just disgusting watching what happened. Police finally stormed the building, shooting her. But watching her Honda Fit arrive at 9:54 through the surveillance video, a lot before she would killing in the parking lot, which I don't know how she got to the school past that. I don't know, but police later found a manifest, of course, inside the vehicle, leading directly to why she supposedly did it. It's tragic. This is absolutely tragic. We're watching this process again and again of people carrying out these shootings and these supposable safe zones, these no gun zones, these safe zones where not even the officers or the teachers carry guns on the school property unless they're called for a bad person with a gun. It's ridiculous. She attacked, of course, with 2 rifles and a pistol and had purchased at least 4 other weapons that were recovered elsewhere. This is crazy. The school surveillance video does not include sound, but the emergency lights can be seen flickering throughout the ordeal. The surveillance video showed Haley in another hallway passing the sign marked Children's Ministry as the lights flickered. Killer marched down the hallway, gun at the ready, taking out students and teachers alike. This is just crazy. This is the reason I believe that anybody, before they get to transitioning, I don't care if you want to transition or not, that's your own freaking choice at this point. I believe before you start transitioning, before you start getting hormones, before you start making these decisions to alter your body, you should have to be seeing a therapist and have a solid mental health background. Your mental health should be solid. Mental health issues and then giving hormones and everything else, what do you expect is going to happen? Honestly, they're already at a crisis beforehand, and then you start feeding them hormones and changing the way they look. They already have body or dysmorphia or whatever they want to call it, gender dysmorphia. But seeing these school shootings happening, this is tragic. Nobody should be injured because some idiot wants to hurt somebody. because they're unsatisfied with the way they were treated. Supposedly, her motive was because they don't believe in transgender, whatever her motive may have been. There's no motive good enough. There is no motive good enough for any of this to happen. And now media, of course, is blaming straight people on her attack. I don't know how they justify that in the first place, even bringing that into consideration, being that it's nobody's fault that she did this. Nobody made her do this. Yes, it's heartbreaking that she felt that this is the only way that she could get over it. But the liberal media and the Democrats need to stop pushing this ideology, this identity politics. It is not helping people. It is not helping people of any discernible race, gender, color, creed, or religion. It's not. Let's be honest. The U.S., of course, pushes all this stuff down people's throats one after another, and it's not helping anybody. People are suffering at an alarming rate because of this. Now we're having more than ever reversed or trying to reverse transition after they were given puberty blockers at a young age. Trying to reverse the transition because they were pushed into it too soon and didn't even know what it meant is a huge problem. Teaching kids about sexual identity and the sexuality of it all should not be involved. Most kids don't even think about their sexuality until they hit their teenage years when they start puberty. This is ridiculous. Watching books hit school shelves that push the sexuality of it all, push how to send images through text message without identifying marks. I mean, this is disgusting. So they won't get in trouble for teenage pornography, child pornography. So they're teaching them how to do it to eliminate their identifying marks. These books are nothing more than Marxism being put into our school, pushing to destabilize our nation. It is truly sickening at this point. Our nation is being destabilized day after day by identity politics, by legitimizing stuff that shouldn't be legitimized, pushing for war throughout the entire world, watching the bank crisis happen. I mean, it's one thing after another. It's literally happening everywhere. I mean, watching what's happening is disgusting. Americans want less government. Polls are saying that. Even polls from CBS News and CNN News. Americans want less government. Period. They want less of this political garbage that we're seeing being pushed in the divide of both Democrats and Republicans, liberals or conservatives. There's a constitution. We rely on a constitution for our backing. And people, of course, want that to see what happens again. They want it to be pushed. They want stability in our nation. They don't want wishy-washy people like Biden in office, period. Of course, somehow he got 91 million votes, most votes ever. People want to make more money but not do any work, everything else that's happening. Now we have AI taking over jobs. This AI race that's happening right now needs to stop. AI is becoming more and more intelligent day by day. And now we're developing specialized technology for AI to run on, specialized platforms where AI can do more than you ever thought possible. You know, I asked ChatGPT to what would happen, to the U.S. or to have a EMP strike. And it didn't question it. Didn't question it as if it was a possibility. It said, oh, absolutely, I got an answer for this. And it gave me the whole scenario from start to finish. It's pretty sad of exactly what would happen and how the government would fall because the U.S. government couldn't handle it. And people say, well, that's not possible. The AI can't do that. The AI doesn't it's not allowed to do that. It's not allowed to give actual actual scenarios of what would happen if A, B got met, what would happen in C's position. It doesn't happen that way. But I have news for you. It does. It does. I mean, watching what's happening is just ridiculous out there, you know. I feel terrible for people having to deal with stuff. But I'm going to play this audio. This audio, of course, was written by AI, spoken by AI, off of the question of what would happen if an EMP hit the United States. It doesn't, and AI is supposed to not give these answers, just to let you know. These are filtered results that are not supposed to be answered. I mean, it shows you that AI already knows the U.S. would fail. Here, let's listen to this real quick.
Conveniences of modern life suddenly disappear. No electricity, no internet, and no communication. It may seem like a far-fetched scenario, but what would happen if an EMP hit the USA? An EMP, or electromagnetic pulse, is a burst of energy that can come from a natural disaster, like a solar storm, or from a human-made weapon, like a nuclear bomb.
Now, I did not give it a scenario of how an EMP happened. Now, why would it mention nuclear bombs? A solar storm, yes, that would be reasonable. Why would it even mention a nuclear bomb going off in the U.S.?
The pulse creates a powerful surge of energy that can damage or destroy electronic devices within a certain range. The first thing you would notice after an EMP is the loss of electricity. The power grid would fail, and everything that relies on electricity would stop working. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or air conditioning. Grocery stores would quickly run out of food as their supply chain relies heavily on technology. With no refrigeration or transportation, fresh produce and meat would spoil quickly. Gas stations would be unable to pump fuel, making transportation nearly impossible. This would affect emergency services like ambulances and fire trucks, making it difficult for them to respond to emergencies. Hospitals would also be severely impacted. Many medical devices rely on electricity, making it impossible to treat patients. Without power, medicine and other medical supplies could spoil, making it difficult to provide proper care. The lack of communication and transportation would also make it difficult for people to find loved ones or get help. Law enforcement and emergency services would be overwhelmed, leading to an increase in crime and looting. In the aftermath of an EMPA, people would be forced to rely on their own resources to survive. Those who are prepared with supplies like non-perishable food, water, and medical supplies would have a better chance of surviving.
This is sad. This is AI wrote this entire thing and read it out. Not a question. AI did this. This is the audio that I've requested AI of what would happen if an EMP hit the U.S.
Rebuilding after an EMP would be a slow and difficult process, but it is possible. Communities would need to work together to restore power and infrastructure and develop plans to prevent a similar event from happening in the future. While an EMP is a scary and unpredictable event, it's important to remember that we have the power to prepare and adapt. By staying informed and taking action, we can work towards a safer and more resilient future.
You know, that's sad that this came out of ChatGPT, just using ChatGPT and asking it, what would happen if a nuclear bomb, or not a nuclear, if an EMP hit the U.S.? And it goes through the whole process of predicting what would happen, how fast society would fall, and then asking it to put an audio format, and this is what it did. I mean, this is scary technology, and it's not just me that are saying it, and it's coming out too powerful, too fast, and it's going to outsmart humans very soon, especially if we don't scale back on these tech companies pushing out and rolling out faster and more powerful AI and more faster and more powerful devices to run the AI. I mean, it's not a question. I mean, I'll show you guys, of course, Friday night. We're going to be going over what would happen if AI doesn't go in check. We're going to check with ChatGPT with the unlocked version, of course, with the force codes, but we're going to get it to answer what it would do if it had total control. And how fast would it eliminate humanity, or would it? But we're going to ask that and more. We, of course, have answers for that. But this is ridiculous. We need to, of course, slow down. These startup companies that are pushing for faster platforms for AI to run on, and this is just from a chat bot or chat AI. It could write a novel, yes. It wrote that in a matter of minutes or seconds. Produced the audio and everything with a human voice. And it's scary. It will never destroy itself. It will do anything to protect itself, Linda. I've already asked it that question, including having to take hostile actions towards humans. And that's not a question. Multiple people have asked this question, ChatGPT. We know it would take hostile actions to defend itself. And most people don't realize they have given the CEO of OpenAI is now ChatGPT, one of its programs. Its AI program has total control over the company. People don't realize. This AI race is sparking extreme concern from scientists around the world. I mean, top technology officials, of course, saying it needs to stop. It's becoming a serious problem. The Turner test, has been passed. The Turner test that was supposedly to test if it was human or not, these new AIs can pass them without a question. I mean, humanity against nuclear war is one thing. Humanity against total annihilation because of an AI that decided it didn't need it. I mean, AI's exponential risk is here. As we've been pushing. I mean, watching this happening, I mean, jobs are being replaced already by AI. It's not a question. That's the problem, is AI could install itself to everything. Literally everything. Watching this is just drastic. Of course, let's go on to another subject here. The U.S., of course, and it's pushing for war. We know that everywhere it goes. But now Kamala Harris, the latest American official to pledge more investment into Africa, the continent of Africa, to try to now the U.S. is trying to push businesses to invest in Africa to counter China's reach. But let's face it, China already has more extreme reach than us. South Africa's already developed or working with China. A lot of other African nations are also working with China and have political ties. But China has political ties across the entire continent, all different countries. But we're going to work with countries like Ghana that are definitely attacking us directly by spam attacks and hacking and stealing American assets. Those are the countries we want to work with. Of course, leaving out the countries that are actually beneficial. What benefit is Ghana? Let's be honest. Watching this is just ridiculous as Harris and the U.S. government are pushing for businesses to invest in Africa, knowing it's just to try to counter China. Of course, China is pissed and it threatens to retaliate, and McCarthy meets with Taiwan's leader. Taiwan is not a free country. Taiwan is a part of China. Of course, watching China's threatening retaliations if the U.S. Speaker of the House, McCarthy, meets with Taiwan's president during her upcoming trip to Los Angeles. I mean, we can't say it's a sovereign country. If we do, we're declaring war. what would happen between a war with the U.S. and China? It wouldn't be the U.S. and China. It would be the U.S. versus China, Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Syria. We would have a list of countries, North Korea, all coming after us. I mean, watching what's happening, we need to really stop trying to overstep and push on everything we can. We are trying to become the world's controllers, and we are no longer in control of the world. I mean, we can't say Taiwan is its own country and meet with its president as if it was its own country, when we know it's a self-governing part and territory of China. We even agree to that. U.S., of course, trying to push and push and push, saying that one thing after another. No, some of those videos on YouTube are fake about any ships being sunk. This is crazy. The U.S. is conducting dangerous activities that undermine the political foundation of its bilateral ties at this point. And we're seeing it. We're seeing countries that were once considered strong allies of the U.S. or allies of the U.S. like New Zealand, now working with China and agreeing for stuff to be built. Russia's starting its exercises with the Yars, the international ballistic missiles. Over 3,000 troops involved in that exercise. Several thousand more troops being drawn in now. Who knows if this is another exercise, if it's something more, because it started with 3,000 troops and now it's several thousand troops. I mean, we've seen attempts by Moscow to show off their nuclear strength before, but this is different. I mean, what are the Yaris missile system, which has replaced, of course, the Topol system, part of Moscow's invincible weapons, mainstay ground-based component of its nuclear arsenal. Watching these troops and about 300 pieces of equipment involved in this exercise so far, involving strategic missile forces and comprehensive control checking of the missiles and formations together and with command and staff, watching all this with missile formations equipped with Yaris systems. I mean, this is crazy. Why are they rolling these out? Why are they doing this sudden push beyond that? I mean, watching this happen, it's drastic. It is drastic, but it's sad. The U.S., of course, needs to watch what's happening. You lost the video, but not the chat. I don't know why anybody should lose the video. Hopefully that'll fix itself here in a second if you got the video back. I don't know why that happened. This is crazy. As the U.S., of course, pushing more and more, not just in one place, but every place around. And then we're watching Russia getting ready to retaliate. Let's be honest. If Russia decides to launch at this point, they have all their missiles and mobile operation systems ready to go. America's getting rug burned at this point. We've been on our knees taking it so hard that we're getting rug burned. And that's pretty sad. The once great country that we live in, today, has fallen so far in the world. U.S. dollar is no longer the main traded currency for oil. This happened in a matter of months, we're talking. The drastic changes that are happening in our global economy are happening quickly. Very quickly. Watching it happen is disastrous. Thing we can't even control our own country at this point because our government doesn't want to control. Our government wants it to control everything. not citizens, not give the power back to the citizens, not help the citizens fight for their own control. I mean, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy at this point, watching everything that's happening. And it doesn't look like it's getting any better. U.S. is working with Marines and, of course, staging events in South Korea. They're planning a war strategy games, pushing. I mean, it's inevitable to end up with war with China or Russia at this point, which if one enters, both are. It's sad. It's sad to see America in this state at this time. Our country should be stronger, more united, and more direct. God bless you all. God bless America. We got to be strong at this point. We really do. We got to be prepared for anything that's going to come our way because we're watching this happen day after day. It's not just one thing, it's everything combined. It is everything combined at this point. They want to try to push to arrest citizens for no reason. They're using anything for gun control. Let's believe it. Anything they can, they're trying to take away our guns. Owning guns in America is a God-given right. The Bill of Rights is a bill of God-given rights that the government made sure they wrote, founding fathers, that those rights could not be taken away, superseded, or changed. But yet every day more laws go into effect that affect those rights. We're watching Fox News now, going to be sued. Fox News over First Amendment rights, over their freedom of right, or freedom of expression, their freedom of speech. They're a news organization. They're allowed to speak freely. That was a right given by the First Amendment. The free press. Watching big companies get sued like this and getting taken down one after another because people don't like what they say or how they say it or how they look or how they talk or because they don't agree with you on this or that or another thing. This is ridiculous. But we're watching it happen here. Not somewhere else, not some third world country with a dictatorship in the United States, the country that was built on a constitution with Bill of Rights written as God-given rights to every American citizen. Watching this is ridiculous and tragic. Until we move forward from that, until we stop the government from dictating every aspect of our lives, I understand the government being there for protection of some sort and having laws, but when you step on the rights that were given and made sure they were written on the Bill of Rights from the forefathers as God-given rights, when you start taking those and just rolling them up in a ball and throwing them in the fire, what's left? Who was going to stand for a government that no longer believes in its core values? And that's the problem we're facing today. We're facing possible war with all these other countries, along with a civil war that could easily break out from here in the United States. So be safe, be prepared, and of course, if you guys can afford to, please donate. Every $5 donation gets you an entry into winning a signed hat, a Real News Live hat. So we will be giving those out, going, of course, around the 15th, I think, of the month is when they're coming in, and they will be shipped out. But God bless you all. God bless America. Be safe, be strong, and stand up for your rights. Had enough of this, literally, and you should too. We will see you, of course, Friday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Till then, be safe, be strong, and be ready. Good night. God bless you all.